Thanks everybody for coming. My name's Jake Spano. I'm the marketing director for the City of St. Paul. I was going to bring notes and set them here on the podium, but this is melting as we speak, so we'll get right to it. This winter there's going to be a ton of great events going on in St. Paul, not the least of which is the NHL's best team in the, that plays right behind us here, so that's going to be exciting all winter long. But one of the bigger events that we're going to have is going to be brought to us by our friends at Red Bull, who's done a number of events here in St. Paul, so we're excited to have them back. With that, I will introduce the Mayor of St. Paul, Chris Coleman.
Thanks, Jake. One great way to keep politicians' speeches short is to have the podium melting out from underneath them. So if you could accelerate the melting speed, we'd be even better. I can't tell you how excited I am to have the Red Bull Crashed Ice event coming to St. Paul. Years ago, I don't even remember, maybe 8 years ago or so, I was watching this on TV, the finals in Quebec, and I thought that's got to be one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And so ever since I saw this, however many years ago it was, I thought we've got to get that event in St. Paul. It's a perfect place for it. And here it is in 2012, January 14th. We're going to have people hurling themselves down this ice track down from the Cathedral, where they might want to do one final sign of the cross before they go down, just to make sure that they have all the blessings that they need as they make their way down in competition. But it is really part of just an incredible series of things that are happening. If you go back, we had the Pond Hockey Championship, or one of the playoffs last year with Red Bull in downtown St. Paul. We had Flutag a couple of years ago, which was one of the most successful events that Red Bull has ever put on. They were anticipating about 40,000 people for that event. We had nearly 100,000 people that lined the banks of the Mississippi River. We had the skateboard event on the river that was also tremendously successful this last fall. So every one of the events that we have partnered with Red Bull has been just absolutely spectacular, absolutely amazing, and I believe that this is going to be the best of them all. We anticipate, I don't even want to guess, I think that there's some estimates of 50,000 people, but I remember the estimate for Flutag was about 40,000 people, and we way over doubled that. So I'm very, very excited, and we're going to have a perfect winter event in St. Paul. If you look at, we have this event on the 14th. We have the Winter Carnival a couple of weeks after that. Not too far after that, we're going to move right into St. Patrick's Day, which is, of course, a great event in St. Paul. But then we get to the Wild playoffs, which I don't mean to jinx them, but I am really looking forward to a run with the Minnesota Wild deep into the playoffs this year. So we're very excited about it, and this is fantastic. I want to thank a couple people for making this event happen, not the least of which is Father Joe from up at the Cathedral. Joe Johnson has been just absolutely spectacular, working with us every way. It's not easy to ask the Archdiocese to shut down roads near their facility, especially you may have remember that the 25th of December tends to be a fairly important day on the calendar for the Cathedral. So we're going to have this construction going on, but we worked around that. Father Joe and the Archdiocese have been absolutely great. I want to thank them. I also want to thank Derek Taylor from Red Bull, who has been just an incredible leader in the community, helping people understand what this event is going to look like, how it's going to go forward, and how much excitement I think this is going to bring. Again, just another event in the city of St. Paul that I think is going to be particularly exciting, and I'm hoping that it's not the last of the Crash Bowl events in the city of St. Paul, and I believe it's going to be one of the best and most successful Crash Bowls that Red Bull has ever done. So I want to do a quick proclamation. Charlie, if you want to come on up, I'll do this. The gist of it, let me, hold on a second. I won't read it all. But whereas on January 14th, 2012, the City of St. Paul and Red Bull proudly hosts the 2012 Red Bull Crashed Ice World Championship. Whereas St. Paul has been a valued partner in hosting events over the years, including Flutag, Pond Hockey Championships, and Red Bull Mississippi Grind. Whereas Crashed Ice incorporates some of the newest and most extreme sports together all in one single competition, St. Paul is a willing partner in making history in the world of professional winter sports. Now therefore I, Christopher Coleman, do hereby proclaim January 14th, 2012 to be Red Bull Crashed Ice Day in the city of St. Paul. Charlie, thank you so much, and we're really, really excited to be a part of this event.
Thank you. Before you go, we've got something for you as well. We've got a jersey that we want to give you, since you've already committed to going down the course and participating. Got your name on the back. Here's your jersey.
I'm not worried about the jersey as much as I am about the helmet. What the latest technology? My helmet's it's actually still a leather one.
That'll work.
All right, fantastic. Thank you. It seems a little thin.
All right, thank you. Yep. Thanks for coming out. Wanted to thank Mayor Coleman for letting Red Bull Crashed Ice be in St. Paul. We're excited too that Red Bull Crashed Ice World Championships coming to St. Paul. It's going to be an awesome event. So let's get started with the obvious question a lot of people have is, what is Red Bull Crashed Ice? Well, it's an amazing sport combining the skills of ice skating, border cross, downhill skiing, and hockey. It's 4 athletes skating head-to-head downhill on an ice track with big air jumps, massive drops, and navigating hairpin turns, all while exceeding speeds of 40 miles per hour. It's the fastest sport on skates. And I've experienced this firsthand. I've competed in the event 5 times and can honestly say it's the coolest event I've ever participated in. Might sound crazy, but I grew up here playing hockey, youth hockey in Minnesota, played for the University of Minnesota. I played professional roller hockey for the Minnesota Blue Ox, and I was drafted in the NHL. When I run into people around town, they don't remember me for the hockey. They say, "You're that crazy guy that did that Red Bull event. What's it like?" So I usually stumble around trying to describe how intense it is, but until they see a video of it, they don't understand. So with that said, to truly get a taste for Red Bull Crashed Ice, I'd like you to take a look at this video illustrating the sport and giving you a preview of what the course is going to look like in St. Paul. Gives me chills every time I see that, so that's cool. That was your first look at the St. Paul course, but I wanted to walk you through a couple of the highlights that you're going to see on the course. At the start, it's the backdrop, as the mayor was saying, is going to be the Cathedral, and the scaffolding at the start is about 3 stories high. So the athletes are going to be overlooking the city and down into the river. It's going to be an awesome, awesome start for them. At first they drop down and they go over a jump at the bottom, and then head to the right and go over the actual stairs of the Cathedral. From there, they're going to navigate up a wall ride, which is unique to St. Paul in that it's the largest wall ride that we've done at 10 meters or approximately 32 feet high. And the way to describe that is the athletes will actually skate up what's like a half pipe, and there's a divider between it and have to come back down the other side. So once past the wall, the athletes continue over bumps, a bridge, and finally alternating jumps that we've coined as the Dutch Mountains before they cross the finish line. So the total distance of the course is 406 meters with 40 meters of vertical drop from start to finish. And this will be a fast but yet technical course. So now let me give you an idea of what the event will look like race week. First, there's going to be 100 U.S. athletes and approximately 100 international athletes for 200 athletes total coming to St. Paul. The competition starts on Thursday, January 12th, when the 100 U.S. athletes time trial down the course one at a time to seed themselves. Then on Friday, the international athletes do the same thing, seeding themselves 1 through 64. Saturday is the main competition, and that's on January 14th, where the fastest athletes will start going down the course 4 at a time, and they go in heats of 4, top 2 advancing until we've crowned our champion. The winners from St. Paul will continue on to compete in the World Championship, which are in Sweden, Netherlands, and Canada. So how can U.S. athletes compete? Well, we're looking for the best U.S. athletes by hosting 7 qualifier events around the country. We run athletes around an obstacle course, which we'll have set up out on this rink here at the Excel, to simulate a crash course for the athletes at each stop, and we take the top athletes. Anyone can register, but it's based on ice time, we limit it to between 100 and 200 athletes per stop, and we expect them to fill fast. We'll be hosting one here on December 13th at the Excel Center. In Canada, for example, 15,000 athletes try to qualify for each year for the event, and due to the popularity of the sport, they've done really well and dominated the sport for the last couple of years with the Europeans. I want to change that. Our vision is to have a U.S. athlete take home the championship title this year, and that's why I'm here. I'm not only a former athlete, but I'm also the Team USA coach. We're going to do everything in our power to give the athletes the advantage in St. Paul and then on the World Tour. We'll host a preview camp here for the U.S. athletes a week before the St. Paul race. At it, we'll preview the course and give them tips and tricks that are going to help them beat the rest of the world. In St. Paul, we'll be picking 3 starters and 1 reserve to represent Team USA, and then we'll bring them back for a training camp before we send them on to compete against the rest of the world. So with that, you can find all the details on the event and the qualifiers at redbullcrashedice.com. And that's all I have, so thank you. I'd like to turn it over for questions now.
Will there be any roads that will be shut down?
There will be, for construction purposes, John Ireland will be shut down for probably a couple of days while they install the bridge structure, but will reopen and remain open during construction. It will shut down during the actual competition, during the hours that people are actually on the course. Dayton will shut down probably around the 20th of December and will remain shut down through the entire course construction and event.
Why St. Paul?
Because let me talk about this event in particular. It's Minnesota's the state of hockey, and the city of St. Paul has been a great partner on all those events that you mentioned, Flu Tug and Ride the Sky, and the open ice that we did here last year. So we wanted to work with the city of St. Paul because they've been such a great partner, and the state of Minnesota is obviously a great spot to host an event like this with the hockey basic background for the athletes.
You don't get calls from Minneapolis City. What's up? From where?
Who?
Other town I heard of. On their St. Cloud.
Well, with the Minnesota Wild here too, I mean, it just makes sense for the event to be in St. Paul.
One item I just want to add at the end, obviously for the city and for Red Bull, we're very aggressively communicating to neighborhoods and businesses and entities all over the city about what to expect. And we'll do that through email. We'll also use the city's Facebook page will be used heavily to get information out to the public. But one of the other items that I know Derek would want me to mention is Red Bull has created a hashtag for this event. It's Crashed Ice is the hashtag. And we would recommend anyone who's interested in this event to follow that, because not only will Red Bull be sending information out about the event using that hashtag between now and the event, but we'll actually be using that hashtag for the day of, or during the actual event, to give real-time traffic updates, real-time alerts, so if there's a crash someplace and congestion's worse than it already is, we'll be feeding out information that way to make sure folks know where to go. So it'll be not only a great place to get just general information about the event, but during the event itself, the 12th, 13th, and 14th, it'll be a great place to be following to get actual information the day of. So I want to just get that out there, make sure folks who use Twitter use that. So maybe with that, head out to the ice, Jennifer, and can lead us out there.
Yep, so we're going to go head out to the ice. I'm going to need a couple minutes to suit up, but basically Charlie Bosley and Todd Walker are going to race on a mini course just to kind of help you guys understand what this event is and how it's different than just traditional hockey.
And I'll do that wearing my jersey so I look good.